Welcome everybody. So today we got an exciting game coming up. It will be Prodigiess facing off versus Need a Name. Both of these teams have been at least looking strong from the roster changes, and I believe we will be seeing a lot of action today. But before we get into the action, we'll give the teams some more minutes to ready up. So before that will happen, make sure you grab a drink, grab some food, go to the bathroom if you still have to, so you don't miss any action live. But until the teams are ready, we will be heading into a really small break, and you guys can enjoy the music for a few more minutes. There we go, lads, boys, lads. Welcome once again. Yeah, today we will be joined by a famous person, or familiar voice, I should say. Hello and welcome
back,
Mr.
boys.
Dad.
Hello, summoners.
So yeah, make sure you get on League, join the lobby, because the teams have been loading into the lobby.
Alright, I am on my way.
Let me just make sure if these guys want to do the virtual draft or immediately head into the champion selection. Today, as I said previously, on this team is going to be Need a Name versus Prodigiess.
Is this the evil Prodigiess?
What? Confusing me
I'm
already.
mixing up, I don't know, evil spirit?
No.
Isn't that like the same team?
No, Evil Spirit and Prodigiess are not the same team.
I see, the more you know.
Yeah, so they have they're creating a virtual draft for us right now, and this time we can maybe look at the teams. So we got in the EQ lineup, we got Terrandom Senpai, sorry, let's go from top to bottom, that's easier. Solstice on the top lane, Gabush in the jungle, Tiger Tychus, what a name. In the mid lane, Terrandom on ADC, and Liamao, whatever that name is supposed to be, on support, as well as on the top lane for Prodigiess, we got Avas, Jungle Corlux, not actually blind in the mid lane, and TL Frangers as ADC, and I believe Tichitot will be playing the supports. With these names shouted out, let's actually have a look at them. Previously, Prodigiess have been playing in the tournament, are pretty well known to the community. And I also want to use this opportunity to welcome everybody to the stream. We have a new look. If you haven't figured out yet, underneath the stream we have new panels all set up. You can now see where you are from, which location has the most viewers, and a bit of information about our organization as a whole, as well as the tournament. Some links to click, like donate, XD.
How do I donate, Jason?
You click on the button, and I'm setting it up so that you don't have to donate immediately to PayPal, but you can donate through Streamlabs so that your donation will show up on stream, but that will take some time. But yeah, casters, if you click on that link, you will be seeing all of our lovely casters, and if you paid attention at the beginning of the stream, you will know who's casting, and you can just check out their socials. I believe for Desia X, my co-caster tonight, it's going to be the Twitch stream linked. And then there's also some other links you can click and have fun with, like our socials, the TG League in total, what it is about, and what you can win, and so on. Also a suggestion box there, so if you ever feel like you need to tell us what you think about the stream.
I see. If I ever feel suggestion, I'll put it in the box.
There we go, brother. So, yeah, just waiting on the... Yeah, waiting on the link from the teams, and then we can get right into the virtual draft. So that's how has your day been so far? What you have been up to?
Well, I have just been getting into new stuff, and I've been getting, just occupying myself looking for things to do.
Which things? Tell me.
Well, your boy is getting back into the WoW Classic grinds during this boring time, and is, I think, getting picked up by peoples. Ooh. How about you, Jason?
I've been figuring out a lot of the stream stuff today and making everything more visible and accessible. If you look, for example, over at our Discord, you'll be seeing that now the stream is on the top side of the server, so all our Steam games will be posted there, one channel only, not 3 channels for the 3 leagues, as well as the CE Stream promotion channel up there, so only the CE Stream promotion will be happening in that channel, not as previously within the other channels. Okay, so we got a virtual link set up, and I believe they're already banning pretty fast. Yeah, they started without letting us know, which is fine. We will just quickly use this and get in. You got the link, correct?
I do.
Perfect. Well, the stream can't see it just yet, but maybe you can already tell us what has been banned so far.
Alright, I just got into it, and the first ban phase has been completed for both teams. Team Prodigies have banned out the Shaco, Twitch, and Thresh, all of them looking like promising counter picks, or wait, what's the word when you like target someone? Yeah, target bans. Yeah,
Target bans, you flip.
What do you call that? And they immediately first pick the Olaf jungle. What do you think of that? Prioritizing a very aggressive farm-heavy jungler.
I believe that is showing that they have not only confidence, but also know they are going for a certain type of comp, where they need a jungler that can just run to any CC that is thrown at him. Now we will be waiting for the response here from Prodigiess. Not quite sure what they have in mind, seeing that they are up against an aggressive jungler who can be flexed into the top lane, not seen that often, and I think this will be a pick that you will enjoy to talk about.
Well, this looks like a very dangerous Volibear flex pick. We know that the Senna is open to be picked up for the new feasting strat, and Volibear is a prime candidate for this spot lane synergy, but can still be flexed in the top lane. Jungle will probably be his weakest role this game due to the Olaf matchup, but will still be a perfectly fine pickup for Prodigies. And they pick it with Jhin.
Okay, that's unexpected. So
that no Senna, I guess. I don't know. It's
Jhin Senna is still a possibility.
I suppose, but it's not as good as the Volibear. Meanwhile, the other team pick up the Set and LeBlanc. So Set is going to be put in the top lane unless they decide to do some cringe bot lane shenanigans with the Set. LeBlanc's such an annoying pick.
Yeah, I feel the annoyance already.
You know, I want to see plays, but I just don't like the champion, to be honest.
I mean, it's definitely a skill champion if you have to execute it at higher levels, because it's pretty straightforward to the normal combos, but if you want to do some fancy stuff, you will be using your distortions in various areas, and also make sure that your mirror image is going to be proccing at the right time and confuse the enemy by controlling that one. And there we see the counter pick, maybe, as the Rumble locked in.
That Rumble is going to be seen in the top lane versus that Set due to the matchup being really poor for the Rumble LeBlanc. So we know that this Rumble is not going into the mid lane unless Prodigies want to lose the game.
That's a statement. So second banning phase starting right here. And yeah. So Need a Name, have you ever heard of them? Because they don't seem too familiar to me.
Need a name? Is that wait? That's their name?
Yeah, Need a Name is their name.
I thought that was like troll or something. I thought someone was just messing with us. Okay, so apparently, I'm just gonna call them Nan. Need a name. All right, Team Nan. Problem solved. All right. So bot lane is going to be the focus for the bot lane is going to be the focus for the bans on Team Prodigies. They're gonna ban out the Aphelios, which is a strong ban due to it being one of the counters towards Jhin. He's immobile, does not have the same damage output, and cannot compete with Aphelios in those important fights. Meanwhile, Team Nan are most likely going to be targeting the jungle, looking for abusive mid laners to ban out, and they ban out Zyro. Huh. I don't know what much to say to that. Zyra is a strong and relevant support champion. Does well into the Set, but not much else. This probably shows us what kind of bot lane Team Nan don't want to play into. And that's just a troll. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Zyra would have been a good setup for the Rumble over here. But yeah. Taking that away is making... Maybe it's a target ban. I haven't been able to look at the teams too much.
Swain is being banned. I don't know why. Moving on. Meanwhile, unless someone on Team Prodigies actually plays Swain, I don't really understand why you choose to use your last ban on the Swain. Do you know any of the players in this matchup, Jason?
Not really.
Not really? Oof, feels bad. All right.
I know Team Prodigies, but not like the champion pool.
Same. They pick up the Echo, which will be put into the mid lane, 100%. does fairly well into the LeBlanc and can compete with her roams as long as he does not get caught out with her jungler. Meanwhile, Team Nan have the perfect choice to pick what kind of bot lane they want. Not many bans have been put onto the bot lane apart from the Saya, Aphelios, and Thresh.
Yeah, I'm quite curious here how this will play out for Prodigies, because they can still flex around wherever they want. But
Many champions are still open for them. They can put the set into the bot lane with Senna, but they are going to be locking in a Morgana Draven comp. The Morgana is going to be a counterpick towards the Volibear, as it basically nullifies all of his CC, and he's just a walking auto attack champion, whoever he runs at with Morgana Black Shield.
Yeah, really safe there with that Morgana Black Shield. And also a lot of CC coming down here actually from Nina.
Yeah, they have a lot of catch potential with the LeBlanc, with the Morgana, and the follow-up from the Draven and Olaf for those bot lane skirmishes. Prodigies are probably debating where that Volibear is going to go, because it can still be flexed in the support role. However, it's troll to do that, so...
I believe right now it's going to be the Volibear jungle actually, when the Echo mid lane Rumble top lane. They're looking for support still. Because Volibear into Morgana Draven does not sound like a good idea.
Yep. But you do not want to put that Volibear in the jungle, but it will be forced as they lock in the Nami for the last pick. Relatively safe bot lane from Prodigies. We'll just have to make sure they are able to survive the early game.
Yeah, and with that being said, I think we'll be heading right into the champion selection. There we go. Champion selection has been unlocked, and now that we know the compositions, all we have to wait for is for the lineups to be confirmed. I do believe there was the possibility of putting Echo in the jungle and Volibear into the mid lane, even though that wouldn't have been a favorable matchup for the Volibear. But I think Desi would have played that for sure.
Oh yeah, well, only I am capable of such pull-offs.
Such int moves that turn out to be good sometimes.
Just looking at the champions and not the exact lineups, despite it already being pretty obvious where each champ is going to go for these lanes, Team Nan is going to be ahead with the draft. They outdrafted Prodigies, not by picking a specific comp, but just by Prodigies just really throwing away their draft potential that they could have done here. So they're already going to be put in an awkward situation just by the poor drafting, so we'll have to see how things go in the early game.
Yeah. I also believe, if I'm able to check this real quick. Yeah, okay. Also believe that they will be having a tiny bit of an advantage here when it comes to the mid lane. Because recently it seems like Echo's been doing really, really well, at least in solo queue versus DLB.
Yeah, well, Echo is one of the safest assassins you can play. He has an insane wave clear ability with his Q, just able to just throw 1-2 Qs, shove wave, and roam. So I do expect the Echo to be ahead in the early game due to LeBlanc's inability to properly shove or push any waves at all. So we'll have to see what this Echo does in the early game, what Volibear will do with the Echo, should he choose to do anything with the priority that mid lane will have.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're only waiting for the spectator delay to be coming up and finish, as well as we're gonna have the confirmed lock-in that Volibear is gonna be the jungle. So I'm excited to see, because Volibear jungle is not something you see every day.
That is correct. It is a very underrated jungler, at least in solo queue, pretty much being able to hold its own against mostly any comp that you will find, just due to Volibear's raw ability to force skirmishes early on, abusing his passive, fighting champ. He's a great duelist as well with that W Frenzy.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to see how he pulls it off.
And also I would like to use this time remaining that we're gonna have, because we're gonna be heading into the spectator delay of exactly 2 minutes. And you can use this time to not only talk to us, let us know what you think is going to be the best pick for today, as well as the best composition and who will be victorious, but you can also bet on it. How does that sound, Les?
I'm a
Betting?
gambler, I guess.
I'm a gambler. There we go. So betting has been opened. Who will be winning blue side or red side? Use exclamation mark bet and then the red or the blue side, and then anything of an amount between 10 and 10,000 points to register your bet. Betting points you will be getting by watching our stream and following.
And liking.
Subscribing.
Clicking that weird bell on the right.
To get the latest notification on YouTube. Okay, anyways, moving on. Such sellers, bro, I know. Hey. So how is Corona tweeting you right now? You just...
You know, it could be better, but I'm just happy I'm sitting here with my Twitch Prime by Amazon.
Wow.
You know, just makes me really. Of course, I love using Twitch Prime on my favorite Twitch channels.
Oh damn, we feel honored.
It's like my favorite pastime, especially during this quarantine time where I have nothing better to do but to watch League of Legends.
Lego Legends.
How about you, Jason?
You were asking me that as I was drinking, but okay, yeah, sure. I mean, with 1 minute and 30 minutes, with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, I believe we should shift our focus to League of Legends. But Corona is definitely a hot topic in our country as well, with 30 deaths already in my small country and over 2,000 people infected, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for us Luxembourgish people, that is definitely most of the population already. I mean,
yikes.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on, we do have, of course, this entertaining bot lane that I'm looking forward to, as well as the jungle matchup, which will be in favor of Olaf as long as he has the roaming potential from LB to be first to any situation. But I believe the Draven Morgana is where it will be going down, because Jhin Nami is a sustain lane, but doesn't sound like the most...
It's not a good lane.
Yeah,
right
exactly. The most.
I am really worried to see if they are even capable of surviving the early game. It is a hard early game to play, but if they make even the slightest mistakes, the Draven or Morgana will be able to really easily capitalize on that and lead to very big CS differences, possible kills. We'll have to see how bad it is.
You remember Prodigiess?
Slightly.
Because a friend of yours played against them, Tyrone. And they used to ban Jarvan Rumble against them. I believe they were beaten. But yeah, moving.
Yikes, Jason.
Sorry, I had to. But yeah, hopefully they can perform today. And with the Spectre today going to 0, we'll be heading into the loading screen, loading up the Rift, loading up the players. And we can tell you which runes they have opted to choose for this game.
Let's see who we should flame. Alright.
So, anything out of the ordinary straightforward? Because I see only normal standard stuff. Maybe the Rumble, but he likes to go commit for lane. I believe this is all pretty much standard, even for secondaries.
Hold on, I'm trying to think of some flame.
I mean, the only flame I can see is the Q from Rumble. But yeah, moving on. Set has Conqueror, Olaf has Conqueror as well. LB has chosen to use the Electrocute to get some lane dominance, as well as Draven with the Conqueror and Morgana with the Comet. On the side of Prodigies, we will be having Avas on that Rumble with Comet, Volibear with Aftershock Precision, and the 2 damage Echo Skin in the mid lane for Prodigies will be rocking that Electrocute, as well as Jhin with the Fleet Footwork and Nami with Swift Airy to make sure her heals are also granting a shield.
I suppose I could flame the LeBlanc for taking Inspiration secondary after going with the Electrocute Ignite setup. Usually when you want to go for such aggressive lanes, which the LeBlanc is giving away right away, you usually want to tend to go for Sorcery secondary just due to Nimbus Cloak, Scorch, really dangerous and powerful runes able to help you snowball and roam. So
yeah, we have been loading into the Rift right now. Yeah, we're stuck there for a few seconds, but we will be seeing right now both teams loading in. A beautiful animation for the Rumble. That's one of the best skins he has, in my opinion. And now we will be seeing that they actually opt into 5-man standards. Oh, never mind, something's coming down. But yeah, no, 5-man standard lineup, just securing the entrances of the jungle, making sure there's no early deep wards coming through.
And that is rather unfortunate, I would say. I believe Team Nan had all the tools necessary to five-man somewhere with the Morgana, Draven,
Yeah.
Olaf.
I mean, Olaf early on is such a strong champion because his Q, if you chase somebody, you will pick it up again and make it go
You
off
can
cooldown.
easily force summoners
Yeah.
with the Olaf.
As well as the Morgana binding being basically an eternity when hit.
So interesting to see that they are respecting or fearing Prodigies and not looking for any cheese, any aggression in the early.
We see a few pings going down on the top side. Maybe LP is going to try and get a deep one in. Echo has been guarding so far. This is one of the most often done mistakes by people that play on the rifts. They choose to go late or very early to the jungle camps and then miss the opportunity to put down a ward or to spot the enemy putting down a ward, and both junglers decide to start on the bot side.
Yep. Fairly standard trades going on in the mid lane. LeBlanc opted for the W level 1. It's her best shoving tool, and harass.
Yeah, most people do level that W, but what do you think? Should you be leveling Q for the extra poke?
It's very situational for the matchups. Mostly depends on the style of LeBlanc you are playing. LeBlanc is playing an aggressive version with the Ignite Electrocute. Fairly aggressive style.
There we saw already Jhin getting outwitted, Draven realizing he has 3 shots ready, so he will be having more time to auto him before Jhin can use that 4th shot to punish him. And there we see the difference actually flash forward by LMAO. He's getting the Morgana biting onto the Nami. That's the first blood onto the Draven. He will be a happy Draven. That was unexpected.
I sadly did not see that exactly. Draven does pick up the first blood, which is basically Prodigy's worst nightmare.
Yep, already
Nami's
snowballing.
flash did come out, so she will have to play even safer to ensure that she does not get further behind.
But Prodigies say, wait a minute, I'm still in this game. And there we see Volibear flashing right after the set has flashed, and that will be the first kill for the Prodigies team going over to the one bot, as well as in the mid lane, a little bit of a skirmish happening here. Not actually blind, trying to stay alive on this Echo. Do not forget he has the summoner spell Teleport, as we see Volibear being chased down by the Olaf, and I'm not sure who will be winning this because, yeah, Albi is first to the rotation and Avas is low on HP. Meanwhile, Set has used the time to TP to the lane, and that's
Volibear really underrating the strength of Olaf Conqueror, and it's going to be picked off easily in the river.
Yeah, so already 2 and 1 so far, as to be expected.
The Volibear is really behind here, throwing both crabs away and showing where he's going to be on the map.
One second, I will be dealing with a few questions as always when we have these games streamed, as other games streamed as well at the same time.
I see.
Yes, so they have always questions.
Echo does teleport into the mid lane as LeBlanc has greeded to stay and will have a delayed recall. Another fight is taking place in the bot lane. Olaf forced to flash, and they will return back to their lanes.
Yep. So far, no more kills going down besides these 3 early kills we have been seeing.
This Olaf really should have recalled by now. He's being really greedy and just staying in the jungle for as long as he can. LeBlanc will continue to abuse the Echo due to him not being able to secure anything early on, due to just how aggressive and how much trades he took from the LeBlanc early on. you can really start to see the pain that their bot lane is going through, making sure they don't die to this Draven Morgana, having to give up XP, CS, and lane advantage to this bot lane.
Yeah, so far we have a few interesting things going on in TG Diamond League.
Another trade going down in the mid lane.
So first lanes to enable the ultimate, so LB will be doing a lot of damage, but also Echo has the ability to just return all of that HP. Especially since the Ignite is still on. That was not the Morgana biting that should be hitting.
It's not what you want to see. LeBlanc is trolling here. This is really greeting, not waiting for her Ignite summoning spell to come off cooldown, and will take really awkward, dangerous trades.
And is forced to flash in the end.
Indeed.
So flash down, Echo used his E aggressively. And forced the flash down the mid lane, which we didn't see because it was off screen. But yeah, the first wake of the game will be the Wind Wake. Now we see Solstice like going very aggressive with the ultimate.
Going in with the Olaf, landing a very nice ultimate, forcing the flash from the Rumble. Have to see where it goes. If they choose to continue the dive, Rumble will throw out the ultimate, forcing
he will be taken
Olaf to ult and die. Very aggressive from Team Nan, not respecting that Rumble still has his ultimate and something you need to play around.
Yeah,
so
with that being said, there will be also the 2 plates going down in the bot lane in favor of Nan. And now we see LB actually trying to punish this level 4 Korlax. He's not very happy in the jungle and he will be going down to the Electrocute Ignite of Tigratikus. And now we see actually an extended fight here. LB has...
They do catch it.
Ooh, yep, they do catch the Morgana here actually. I expected this to go very differently from the start of this, but Draven was not there, so this was essentially a 2v3.
Team Nan overstaying their welcome. They spotted the Volibear from that deep ward due to bot lane's Prodigy not being able to walk anywhere near the bot lane. So that will lead to a pickup onto the Volibear, but due to that really greedy overextension, they will lose the life of the Morgana.
Yeah, and Volibear is really in a sad position right now. Not only does he have an unfavorable matchup, but also is he down by 2 levels, as well as 20 CS, so have to be looking how this will be doing for them, because he seems to be the only heavy front line in their lineup. So who do you think will be winning this matchup right now? Never mind, question answered. Echo just took down DLB here in an extended trade, poking that passive, and the passive is what Echo makes, what makes Echo so strong. And also in the top lane, Ava's having a hard time dealing with the set. And we see Olaf using this free time to opt into a nice Drake, knowing that he has priority on the bot lane. Which was a bit risky because Echo could have roamed and contested and probably picked up a kill there because Olaf has not had his flash up yet. And now Jhin is greeting for a bit of CS here, as we see in the bot lane. Actually, the Pinkwood dropped in the river to make sure that they are not spotted. And Olaf patiently waiting, with his flash coming off cooldown really soon.
That is one patient Olaf.
Yeah, and he hits the Q though, that's forcing a flash. So flash forced here by Jhin, and actually I haven't touched this yet, but we see the cleanse on the Jhin.
You didn't notice?
No, I didn't. I have not seen that actually. It's the first time seeing
This is one of the main reasons why the Draven's able to just trample the Jhin. Despite the cleanse being taken as a defensive tool for the Morgana, they will lose out on a heal, which will just allow the Draven and the Morgana to just face roll them, due to cleanse not really being useful other than cleansing the Morgana Q or chains from LeBlanc.
There we see Echo trying to desperately survive, but he will be taken down in the end. Jhin picks up a redemption kill though, but that only means that Jhin is worth more gold for Draven to pick up, which he will be doing. And now Volibear is the only guy surviving in this bot side jungle, trying to sneak away those camps, get back on track. And we also saw him pick up that Herald on the top side of the map. Interesting, interesting. So, seeing as this game is going already with the 2k lead, excuse me.
It is so far going exactly as I've foreseen it so far. I mean, Prodigiess has a really weak early game apart from the Echo LeBlanc matchup, which is sadly going even, which is not what the Echo wants. So they will not have any pressure in the early game. They'll be able to face roll all the objectives, especially in the bot lane, with such a horrible bot difference for Team Prodigy.
And there we see an extended trade going on the bot lane actually. Echo is also here to show up, but he will not be getting anything besides the flash from the Draven as we swap to the top lane where Avas is getting flashed on and ulted into the Olaf, and Olaf is here to pick himself up that kill. Echo tower diving now is gonna get out without using his ultimate, so there's a potential tower dive still happening. There's 4 members of the Team Prodigiess on the bot side.
Sadly, that was not enough to take out anybody from Game Nan, and since the Jhin ultimate was still on cooldown, they will just have to accept the bot lane tower with help from the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I don't think they have been able to take this tower. Ooh, Echo is forced to ulti, is really taking low, and now the Ignite is coming down a bit late here. I would have loved to see that earlier because I would have reduced the healing. But never mind, Olaf is here, unstoppable he goes. Going aggressive onto the Echo, he hits the first Q, and I think that will be the death of the Echo.
Yep, Olaf does make up for the LeBlanc's failed Ignite and picks up the kill.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, they are not able to take their bot lane turrets. So besides a few platings, they are still behind in gold. And we do see that on the bot side they have managed to pick up 4 plates for themselves, but overall they have lost 3 plates in the top lane, 3 plates in the bot lane, as well as most likely for the mid lane.
They have been outplated.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. We do see, however, few pings coming down from both sides here in the bot side jungle, contesting, not only stealing the blue, but also contesting vision.
Yep. Olaf will be there to take most of that blue side jungle away from the Volibear. Volibear is on his way, but will not be able to catch anybody in time. Meanwhile, a mid-skirmish is being fought, LeBlanc landing all the chains she needs to land, forcing the Echo to retreat, while Prodigiess fight Team Nan.
Yeah, and they actually managed to pick up the first kill here onto the Olaf, and Draven now trying to get a redemption kill onto Kollax, but Kollax is dangerously low but will survive, and now Draven has to block for his support, make sure Morgana stays alive.
Yet again, another overextension by the Olaf, being really greedy by overstaying, especially with the Draven, yet again, not following his jungler.
Yeah, it seems like there's a bit of a communication issue going down between Draven and Olaf. Both of these guys are not able to show up at the same time on the same place, so it will be always a discrepancy in numbers.
Despite those 2 kills onto the Rumble, he's still being a fairly oppressive champ towards the set. Another fighting in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Ultimate from Echo is taken out, which basically forces him to play even safer. And
Olaf is not even checking the Drake, knowing that they have the vision set up to see if somebody would contest. They just pick themselves up. Drake number 2 and the Mountain's Wise, meaning the Mountain Drake will affect the Rift and also be the soul of this game. There we go, actually. Draven trying to get the second tower for themselves. They managed to pick up the first tower on the bot lane previously. Now that's 2 towers in their favor, making this gold lead extend to nearly 5k gold advantage for Team Nan. And yeah, besides the top lane, it really looks like a rough matchup. But I've been saying this, and now again we will be seeing actually Volibear showing up first this time before the Olaf, trying to get the kill. Beautiful pullback, but this is an outnumbered fight there, 2v3. Morgana has been showing first. That's a beautiful Rumble ultimate. Will they be taking a kill? Yes, they will be taking a redemption kill here, so 1-for-1 traded. Echo now showing up with his teammates Nami and Jhin. but it seems like they're just backing off. Not going aggressive, even though they had the numbers. And do you agree with, as we see, maybe another fight breaking out? Nope, just a bit of poking. Do you agree with the Protobelt first item on Echo?
Yes, I do. The Proto Belt is a very cheap item, allows him to wave clear the wave almost instantly, providing Echo a very safe wave clear to ensure that he doesn't die or is pressured any more than he needs to be by the LeBlanc.
But we have kind of broken up this early phase of the game already. It's only 16 minutes in, but yeah, both mid lane and bot lane towers have been taken down, so this opens up the map and we see a lot of extended trades and a lot of damage actually coming onto the Avas. Avas is ignited, he will be going down to the LB Ignite in the end there, and I'm surprised that wasn't more because that looked like a very strong, but we see indeed a flank happening here by the Echo. He managed to sneak behind the enemy lines, he's not going aggressive just yet as we see Olaf running into the enemy team 1v4, get taken down by Volibear. Now Echo managed to pick up the LB, was previously already low. Morgana using the ultimate to scare the Echo ultimate out of him, but this is a Draven 1v3. He's gonna get ignited, but still out damages most of the teams here. He will be trying to get at least one kill onto Qualax, will not be managing to do so, and Echo just chases with a flash over the wall, taking that big shot down into his pocket. 600 gold going towards him. And there we see a flash coming. Echo uses the E to get over the wall. Morgana flashed away, and maybe they will be picking up a last kill here. They decide not to chase further and just switch their target to the Rift Herald.
I'm honestly not sure how Prodigiess came on top in that fight due to Rumble not even having to use his ultimate, not really being present in that fight. So, very interesting. Again, another overextension. Team Nan just being really greedy for those kills. Yeah. Not really gaining anything through that movement and just throw their lives and the Herald away.
And I believe they have been actually overstaying with the jungler here twice already. I mean, this was the third time now where he just went aggressive without his team backing him up. So either there's a bit of discrepancy in communication, or these guys are just not coordinated enough, because it keeps resulting in Olaf taking down before the actual fight has broken out. Oh, and this was also pretty unlucky. Justice going really, really deep. He will be paying with his life here because he didn't consider that there could be a whole team showing up, and Prodigiess 5-manning in mid lane. Aram has it called. That was a weird cleanse because he wasn't in any danger.
Yeah. Seth just likes to die. I don't know. Very greedy plays.
I mean,
from Team Nan yet again, throwing their lead down the drain.
They are still up by 4k gold, but at this point 4k gold is not that much of a difference. It will not mean a whole item for everybody in your team. And seeing as set is 0-3 and building a really aggressive build, the only real damage, AD damage that's coming out is the Draven and the Olaf. Which we see right here, actually trying to take down the Jhin, but will be paying with his life again. This is the 4th time he has been taken down in an extended fight, and there we see Jhin ultimate not even hurting the Draven.
Echo gets taken out so fast by the LeBlanc ultimate combo, not even being able to react with the ultimate. Very bursty, very scary. This champ sucks. Alright.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're gonna clear some vision. Actually managed to maybe pick up another Drake here. Team Prodigiess should really be looking towards contesting this one, if they will not be forced into a weird situation where they have to team fight. But so far it seems like they're just going for the Drake, and without any contest. That will be Drake number 3 in favor of Nan. Now, ooh, good dodge here by Avas, but he will be hitting the second chain. Now he's in a 1v3 situation, and I believe that's just a dead Rumble.
Yeah. The LeBlanc is basically taking over this game, despite the Olaf trying his best to throw their leads away. The LeBlanc will just not allow it and will pick up more and more shutdowns for herself.
Yeah, and Volibear seems to not care a bit about Morgana. He actually opted into Tab Ice, which is really interesting. I mean, yes, there's a triple AD threat, and Draven was kind of fat, but now Morgana and LB seem to be the biggest issue for them. And the Nami ultimate is not doing anything against the unstoppable Olaf, and that's already 2 kills in their favor. Krolak's now proking his passive here, and he will be taken down by the double kill of the Olaf. Yeah, I don't agree with the Morgana pick, with the Nami pick into the Olaf. I think that would have been better to have a meat shield that can just physically stop him.
That does not work.
What do you mean? Standing in front of your ADC works.
To a point, but I mean, like, how's that gonna help until Olaf just throwing his Qs repeatedly?
Very true. And there is actually once and again, Solstice just doesn't really care. I mean, he enables his team to get the Baron freely uncontested and also got to kill himself, but that was again a 1v3 situation where he should not have been. It works out in the end though. And they have extended the lead back to the original 8k. So no matter how hard they try to throw... Okay, I believe Morgana was trying to press a different button there, but uses Zonus instead, and that will be her demise. Jhin is
not much to comment on there, just a misclick from the Morgana.
Weird champ. You see actually the health spawn in the mid lane. And Olaf has his ultimate backup, means he's gonna run it down again straight onto the Jhin. And now Echo actually used his ultimate aggressively here, as Krolak is gonna be the first one to fall in this team fight, as now Echo forced to flash away, but will be picked up here in the end by the LB. Nice combo, and I believe Olaf will survive the Leandrus. Yes, he will. No, enough burn. Never mind Jhin from downtown with his W, taking down the Olaf, making it a redemption kill in this 1-for-2 trade. But I think that will be all that they can get here, Prodigiess. Oh, that's just an absurd amount of damage there. Nearly taking down Tigra, managed to pick himself up another kill, making this a 3-for-1 exchange in the end.
Ooh.
Oh, indeed. Nearly 10k gold advantage now for Team Nan. I believe this shall conclude game number 1, unless they manage to throw once again, but at this point I think everybody reached the triple or nearly triple item.
These throws almost don't matter anymore for Team Nan. The LeBlanc is going to put his team on his back and is just going to Civ HD the fuck out of Prodigiess. Alright.
Yeah, picking up the blue buff right now, and they still have the Baron buff ticking on some members, so they should be at least grouping to force the last standing tier 2 tower. So far, they do not opt to do that and just waste the Baron buff.
Olaf does pick up that crab, securing the vision for the next dragon, which will give Team Nan the juicy Earth Soul.
Yeah, next dragon up in exactly a minute, but the crab will despawn 5 minutes before that, 5 seconds before that. Took it a bit too early there. Rookie jungle mistake.
All in all, it's not horrible to take. You are right, he could have waited a little bit, but that crab does tell them if someone walks down there to place a ward, so they will know whether or not the support walks by.
Oh my god, we saw LB completely demolish the Jhin here, and I believe at this time it's pretty clear.
LeBlanc thinks.
Yeah. That there's a discrepancy here, at least in the mid lane, because Echo is not able to do this just yet. Ooh, and I think if that chain would have hit, that would have been the second death here coming through. Although Electrocute was on cooldown. Now we see in the top lane a bit of a fight, I was about to say, but Seth just with the 2 damage in the end there manages to pick himself up a kill, even though Volibear flashed out of his ultimates.
So this is a free dragon pickup for Team Nan due to Jhin and Volibear having died. They will have 0 pressure for this dragon and are basically giving it up free.
Yeah, not a single way to contest this one.
10k gold lead, Dragon Soul being picked up with 0 dragons for Team Prodigiess. This is looking like a very grim game.
Interestingly enough, they split the map actually. I mean, neither name could just be running it down as 5 members. Yes, the Rumble ultimate will be hurting them if they stack, but they have a mountain shield and they do have the advantage in damage.
They just need to watch the LeBlanc. LeBlanc can very easily punish people for mispositioning, catch people off guard with the burst, and can immediately, if she doesn't kill the target, pull them out of the fight.
That was a beautiful Nami bubble, but it will not matter because Olaf just tower dives both of the teams already here, looking as if they will be going down on both sides. We see both sides actually already losing, the Olaf and also the Jhin Volibear, as well as the Echo now falling for Team Prodigies. So LB chasing the last kill here actually connects that. Holy moly, that was a long chain from the LB.
Ins are missing. They're on their way.
Yeah, they managed to pick up the first inhibitor here in the mid lane, now immediately shifting their priority to the top side where the wave is crashing against the tower. They will be opting into tower number 2 of the base, and actually an aggressive play here once again. The Morgana blading hitting means that's a dead Nami. No sushi tonight. That Morgana bending went a bit wide, but they managed to pick up 2 inhibitors of this push, really successful. And with the Baron coming up in 30 seconds, they should be opting into at least a reset if they want to be 100% secure, especially since LB is completely out of mana. There we see the complete reset here from Team Need the Name. Probably opting into the Baron and the finish here of game number 1. So, yes, it was a bit iffy from here and there, but I believe this was a pretty solid game nonetheless from Team Need a Name, and yeah, just solid performance from DLB.
Not too surprising due to the poor draft from Team Prodigies, basically throwing their early game and game, as we can see, away.
Yeah, I would have loved to see at least a different jungler and support, as well as the Jhin was a bit questionable.
The biggest problem for this team was the bot lane synergy with the jungler, as well as just the matchups being completely outdrafted.
But all is not over until the Nexus falls, so maybe we'll be seeing some exciting teamfights still. If not, it will be a crush by DLB just hopping onto somebody with her W and making her life and HP bars go down. And there we see already the first engage happening. Echo forced to flash early. It will not matter because now he flashed immediately into the LB, which will be godlike already. Volibear trying his damnness to get at least a redemption kill, but no, LB is picking up the second kill onto the Nami and all the finishing of the Volibear there. Meaning this will be
smurfing.
2 kills already going over to Need a Name. Next Morgana binding hitting. LB chooses to go into the Jhin, and Olaf taking up the Rumble, and that concludes the game. I believe that's 31 kills to 16, 9 towers to 0, and over 15k gold difference here. Need a Name with that Zonias on the Morgana, taking game number 1 in their favor.
Easy first game.
Easy indeed. Looked a bit iffy around the edges, but in the end worked out perfectly fine. And maybe should have a look at not only the gold advantage here per player, but also if we go over to the graph, we will be seeing that LB clearly outdamaging anybody in the game. So did the Olaf, so did the Zed, and the Draven even. So the whole team of Need a Name stepped up and had a beautiful performance.
Even the supports, Jason. You can't forget the support damage.
Even the support damage, indeed. Excuse me. But yeah, that will conclude game number 1. We'll be heading into really short break actually. And I'll be showing you the standings during the break, as well as our beautiful intermission screen. So here are the standings of Group A and B of the TG Diamond League. If you have any questions about the connecting esports organizations as a whole, or the TG, or regarding the TG Diamond League, as well as any other leagues that are offered by our fellow humans in the CE family, just head out in the new panels underneath the stream and make sure to follow our socials, as well as joining our spaces on Discord to be up to the latest news. As well as now, if you have a quick look over, you see you Need a Name actually with 6 points already in Group B here on 2nd place, and Prodigies in this last place with 0 points still. But yeah, don't forget the exact points will be posted in our score channel on Discord, because you get 1 point per game. So if you manage to take away a game in a 2-1 series of a best of 3, you still get a point. So not all is lost. But yeah, with that being said, let's head into the intermission screen and changing the score and into a short break.
Jason!
Yes, they can still hear us, but yes, tell me this. What's up?
Oh, okay, I can just type. Cool.
Yeah, just type, man. And there we go, coming back from this break. I hope you enjoyed the break and the time to get a drink and stretch your legs, because we are ready for game number 2 here. So next up will be Prodigiess versus Need a Name in game number 2. They have switched sides, so that means now on the blue side Prodigiess will be facing off against Need a Name on the red side. Maybe this will change something as well, as a few new picks and bans in the drafting phase. We'll be of course doing the virtual draft. We're just waiting for both teams to start the draft here. And there we go, actually first ban being the Olaf. There we go, Olaf, as you can see, and the answer will be from the name Dion, with now the second ban in the first phase. Prodigies are looking, hopefully, to take away one of these strong champions, as for example the LB in the mid lane, which they did not seem to be able to deal with. And there we see actually Shaco and Trash being taken away, so similar bans to the first game, as well as Dion, Vladimir and Akali on the other side. And we will be seeing actually that hello, Mr. Frisk is joining us for game number 2, so DayZX had to take his leave. Obviously now Prodigies versus Need a Name in game number 2. Welcome, Mr. Frisk.
Well, hello there.
Hello there. Yeah, today we got actually game number 2, as I mentioned, and Prodigies are locking in right now the Zac as first pick. They got not pretty stomped, but yeah, pretty outdrafted in the first game, and therefore lost the game number 1, as well as an outstanding performance by the Olaf and the LB from Need a Name in game number 1. They are still looking in that set like in the previous game. No difference here. Yeah, and the LB as well, so LB not taken away. Prodigies thinking that was not the issue. Even though we saw her completely deleting the HP bars in the last game. So a strong top and mid lane already locked in. These guys are not afraid to show their hand. And Prodigies now have to answer with 2 picks on their own. There we will be seeing actually the Renekton as well as the Draven lock in. So the Draven will be a pick away and the Renekton will be their desperate hopes of countering that set. Another early aggressive top laner. Hopefully it will be enough to deal with the set. Ooh, actually Carter's lock in here by Need a Name. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's a really weird pickup. I mean, it's still a strong jungler, but more on the scaling side. Also really strong in 1v1s if you land these consistent Qs, because the single target damage is pretty high. But it definitely is more of a skilled champion and easily to be invaded and taken down, because it runs out of mana pretty fast and has to kite perfectly in the jungle if he doesn't want to deplete his HP bar before even encountering an enemy. And there we see actually the Morgana being the first ban of the second rotation. But just taking their fair share of time here to think about what they should be banning. They hovering the Twitch, which tells us that they are afraid of an aggressive ADC that has the potential of roaming and taking over the team fights, even though Twitch is not in the best spot right now. But there's always these Twitch one tricks that manage to somehow make the champion work. Man, they actually banned that champion away. So interesting choice of bans here. As well as the Nautilus now taking off the table. Need a Name making sure that the Prodigies lineup is not getting any more tanky. As well as one of the most picked and banned champions in the support role.
I'm really curious here what Prodigiess will end up banning. Like, I know the set could potentially end up being support. I've seen that picked a bit in LCS. But I'm really curious, because the bot lane here is going to be making a big difference. Same for like LeBlanc, for need a name. I think I would really like her to be able to snowball as well.
Yeah, she managed to
Making a
snowball in
safe.
the previous game.
Mm.
She was facing off against the Echo from Prodigiess, and Set in the top lane was facing off against the Wumble from Prodigiess. Both these lanes ended up winning, even though A was on the top side, managed to have a really, really good comeback. Every time he got ganked, he at least managed to pick up a redemption kill. But yeah, it did not matter in the end, so... Ezreal lock-in, interesting. I'm on the safe side, facing off against this Draven.
I really like that pickup of Ezreal. Gives them a more safe laning phase. They want to scale, right? And then they want LeBlanc to get ahead. So she can start doing the roaming, so they can be like... Technically... how do you put it? So they can be a bit unfair, always having the extra man of Karthus, just pressing R.
Yeah,
So they're always going to be 1 or 2 more per fight.
And we saw in previous games that they had a bit of miscommunication coming down here in between the jungle and the ADC. So with the jungler now being the guy that only has to press one button to jump into the fight, I don't think there's an issue.
Nope.
And also Zed actually has an aggressive answer. I know that Prodigiess is known for picking assassin mid laners, and this will be showing right now. See if you can pull it off. So we are missing still the support if the set should be going to the top lane. And I think what they really need is survivability right now. Because Zed is a hardcore dive champion as well as the Leona and the Zac, and Renekton only wishes to press ultimate and dive into the back line. As well as
really
Draven.
like Braum here. That's,
there we go.
Yeah, that's a really solid support to pick up with that team composition.
Yeah. Definitely able to not only CC but also knock up people. And there we go. Stream is ready. We'll be heading into the champion selection in just a few seconds here with these pick and bans. So make sure to cheer in the chat for your team. I will be putting out, as always, the bet. As these guys will probably look in the champions now in the order they have picked it, so nothing new. Maybe you can talk about, Fisk, how exactly these teams want to execute their winning condition and what exactly the winning condition is. So starting with Prodigiess.
Yeah, I think Prodigiess want to snowball. They don't do bad mid to late, but I think that their strength is early. Draven Leona is a strong laning bot lane in the laning phase, and if Draven gets a snowball, we all know what happens, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Same for Renekton. If he gets a snowball, then they have that constant side pressure. The biggest for me here is probably for the mid lane. That's where the difference is. I think the team that wins mid lane here probably have a really solid chance of winning the game.
I agree with you on this one. However, we have been seeing a lot of miscommunication lately in the previous game. As I'm switching the names because I've definitely put the wrong name. There you go. Need a name on the right side, of course, on this red side, and Prodigiess on the blue side on this left side. So make sure to get your bets in for game number 2. Surprisingly, not a lot of people online today, even though we got a whole new channel layout. Also including you, Mr. Frisk.
Yeah. That's the biggest news. But I'm really curious how the set will work out here as well for Prodigiess. Like, looking at the team composition of Need a Name, they have so much damage incorporated into that composition. And Set generally just want to delete one target, but deleting the main DPS of that team is really difficult. Meanwhile, for Need a Name, their biggest threat here is Draven. Because Draven is the one who's going to do the most damage in general, dare I say. So if the LeBlanc can maybe get him low, have a Karthus execute or something like that, I think that's what they want to go for. Then they should win the team fight the longer it goes.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I mean, Karthus is going to be effective even when taking down early in these skirmishes, so that's something to watch out for. Most of the time people forget that, yes, he's squishy, but that doesn't mean that after his death he will not be doing damage. That's the passive of the Karthus.
And I'm not too keen on exactly how Karthus wants to build, but I know somewhere down the line he actually wants to grab Hourglass versus specifically said. Worth noting as well, Prodigiess is very AD heavy in the damage. So we're probably going to end up seeing Iceborne Gauntlet for Ezreal, we're going to see Hourglass for LeBlanc and for Karthus, which gives them a lot of
survivability.
Exactly, survivability against the damage-wise of Prodigiess.
Yep, there we go, the last seconds ticking down before we head into the spectator delay. So spectator delay is now live, meaning these guys are loading into the Rift and probably already thinking about what to do, where to station their first face-off. In the meantime, I believe should use this time to point out that our Discord has a bit of a new look. You will be finding our streamed games in the top of the Discord channel now, as well as the CE stream promotion, which will only promote the CE stream. Therefore, you cannot miss any of the fun. And our normal promotion channel still works as usually, just promotion for you guys if you want to be added. Why is everybody asking for? I have 2 requests right now from, I think, the same team asking me the same thing about an emergency sub. Let me just check with that real quick. What is the name?
Can't wait for the game to start. I wonder if either of the teams would look for an invade early. I can see both of the teams trying to pull something off. Just to get that small lead, especially for neither name. Like in jungle, mid, or bot lane, a small, like a first blood would be really big for their laning phase. Same would be for Prodigiess, of course. However, I think that the early game, the Nida name should be weaker, so any lead they can take is going to be pretty huge for them.
I believe the Z is not especially falling off, but really harder to execute later on because the targets have shifted. I believe he will be only looking for the LB as well and Karthus, completely ignoring that Zed and Bomb as his main targets. But yeah, if he doesn't snowball, he will not be able to one-shot anyone, even with his ultimate.
Yeah. And I mean, if it comes down to it, especially given that Prodigiess is very AD heavy, I wouldn't be surprised if Ezreal might even pick up an Hourglass later on, since that's also a fairly solid item on Ezreal. He's gonna lose out on damage, however the survivability versus Zed specifically is really big.
Yeah, I mean, even in Iceborne Gauntlet, he will already optimize him into that matchup, but yeah, hopefully he can stay safe. I mean, Ezreal is one of the safest AD carries out there. Together with a bomb that is able to block a lot of the incoming damage as projectiles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Not Actually Blind has performed extraordinarily well on Assassins in previous tournaments, also organized by Connecting Esport. So make sure to check out our past podcast, because I believe they were in the finals and playoffs last time around. There we go. Spectator Late is over, so we can maybe talk and touch the wounds of these players.
Yeah, let's see what we have on the table here. Most of it looks pretty standard, to be honest. It's fairly new still, but not. It's more and more common. It's the lethal tempo on Ezreal. Makes him a bit more beefy in the laning phase. Gives him a good chance of paying back in any damage he might suffer.
Yep. The game has loaded onto the Rift. Now the players are only missing still. As soon as they load into the Rift, you will be seeing the in-game. And yeah, Dark Harvest, there we go. Dark Harvest on the Cartus, so it means he cannot completely idle around in the jungle, but needs to get off whenever somebody's low, at least at R button. Shouldn't be too hard to find on his keyboard. But yeah, Aftershock on Zac, also standard, and press attack on Draven to the previous Conqueror on the Draven by the size of Need a Name, so that's some difference. And Leaf Tempo, one of the strongest runes to take on tech-heavy champions.
One of the best points about Draven is that he's not really bound by the same rules that every other ADC seems to be at. He can be very flexible in what rune he picks up, since they all do a lot of positives for him.
Yeah, there we go. According just a few requests.
Yeah, we see some good old BM in the top lane. Nobody wants to slap. Both of the teams are just doing a pretty basic cover. Just looking to go to the laning phase without any losses or gains.
Yeah, there we go. And both junglers actually decide to start on opposing sides, so actually starting both on the red buff, but not on the same side of the map. Which will probably not lead into them meeting at the Scuttle Crab, which is optimal for Cartus.
I wouldn't be too surprised given the junglers here and the runes they picked. I wouldn't be too surprised still if they were just to take a handshake and farm it away. Like both of them really wants to get to those bit later levels here. Carthus level 6 is like really big, but Zac also wants to get to the levels so that he can get higher rank of E, or longer jumps, which makes his threat all that much bigger.
Yeah, and we see actually if people do not ready up on Challenger mode, they lose a game. But yeah, in the top side we see already a lot of HP bars traded, but fully healed back as Ava's pushing this one in. Cartus is going for the full clear here as well as the Zac, so both of these junglers knowing they don't need to show any early presence, and level 3 advantage for Ava's, meaning he's getting the stun out right after the combo of Solstice and Stoltice, losing half of his HP in this trade.
Yeah, now it's pushing into the turret here. I don't see a world where Renekton dives him this early on solo, but I think Solstice is feeling the pressure at the moment.
Wait, which game am I looking for? Oh yeah, TG Oathkeepers is the game I'm looking for. You see actually Zac now trying to invade the Cartus on the bot side. Did he manage to steal anything away?
No, I don't think so. He picked up the bottom side crab there, which is or he is picking it up.
Yeah, he's picked it up right now.
Carthus is pathing towards top side just to take the other crab. They have vision on top of the Zac at the moment as well, so they know which way of the map he's heading.
Oh, actually an aggressive Leona EQ here onto the Ezreal, but as you can see, Bomb perfectly fine at blocking the incoming damage, so no immediate danger or he's need of use for a flash. Either I'm blind or I cannot see the game.
And if we look at the top lane here, we can even see that Carthus is invading the Zac topside jungle. He's looking to steal away the crab. He has the pressure from top lane, because now the wave bounced. We have Seth pushing in the Renekton. They're even looking for the dive now. We're gonna go low on the Renekton. Renekton makes it out. Seth is going out as well. You see Renekton barely, so right now he actually dies to the Carthus here. So first blood to Carthus. They're looking to grab the Zac as well. He's still off passive though. They're hitting the passive here. LeBlanc takes the last hit. Are they TPing in to save him? Is he gonna make it out? No, he's going down to LeBlanc as well. Zed coming in, picking up the Carthus. He's cleaning up with Renekton. That was really big for Prodigies.
Yep.
But I think that need a name. They realized already that the enemy team is building mostly 80 damage. If you look at the first item here for Solstice, he went for Ninja Tabbies, so he can go for the bigger trades in top lane.
Yeah, I'm sorry for this, but we have a lot of issues with one game. Exactly, one of the supports actually disconnected and lost all of this power, so power shortage.
A trade going down in bot lane. Braum is barely alive. He has the Ignite taken on him, but he makes it out. Popping them cookies, saving him, luckily. That was really close for him to give away a kill to the Draven this early, which is really scary for any bot lane. At the same time here, you can see Zac in the bot lane as well, looking to get that first kill for the Draven so he can start snowballing in the lane. However, it is pushing in for Prodigies. So they might not find the room here until after the bounce of the wave. And now they have vision of Zac, all while Carthus is doing the dragon. And Prodigies don't seem to have a clue that he's doing the dragon. So red team here, they get a free dragon, which is a mountain dragon, more resistances, which is always nice. And LeBlanc makes a really big outplay on the Zed there, giving Carthus assist as well, so I believe Carthus picked up yet another Dark Harvest stack. And even more importantly, the kill there was a shutdown as well, so LeBlanc gets even richer. This is looking quite bright for Nida name, but Prodigies is far from out of the game.
Yeah, they're just waiting on Challenger mode, and Davis actually was trying to pick up that kill onto Dago, and he's gonna... Garbage Dargo is gonna survive for now, so no flash available for Renekton means he will not grab that kill.
He's looking to do some free chickens here. Believe he will get them. No, actually, Carthus picks them up, the big one and one small one, which is it's quite nice for him. LeBlanc going in for another aggressive trade here, and Zed is going low. He's ignited. He's trying to run away, but she finishes him off. The mid lane is looking at snowballing now.
Yeah.
And even if you look at the itemization, LeBlanc already picked up a Seeker's Armguard as well as a Lost Chapter, while as Zed haven't finished his first item when just trying to focus down on that one.
A really big discrepancy in the mid lane, actually.
Yeah.
Gold shutdown as well as the first Drake on their side, and probably the second plating of the game in the mid lane.
Yeah, LeBlanc is looking really scary this game now. Like, I think the mid lane matchup here, whereas LeBlanc is getting ahead, it's gonna help them out a lot in order to take control of the map. Like, LeBlanc can push in harder than Zed, but he's looking to kill her now when he's back to lane. She's going low, but that Seeker's Armguard protecting her. He does not have the damage to kill her at the moment, not solo. Whereas at the same time here, we can see in the bot lane as well, Zac just hovering, looking to potentially counter gank. Or even set something up, but they're pushing in, so the Ezreal Braum can just lean back.
Finally.
Welcome back.
Jesus, that was annoying to deal with. 3 teams at the same time having an issue, as we see Ava's taking a lot of HP. Taking a lot of damage, and his HP by depleting really fast, thanks to the 2 damage of that W from Zed. Actually, steal away of the blue buff here. Carthus on the last mana.
Quite big.
That
this Carthus is getting quite scary. He already has a level on the Zac, and taking away jungle from the enemy jungler is always big.
And now he's actually opting into fighting Quolox, and Quolox is not having the best time. He's trying to dodge at his best ability. He's going to walk into the last Q. His passive comes up, that's really big, but now LB's first to the rotation as well as said, flashing to get the perfect angle and ulting Avas back into the team.
So
That's a beautiful stopwatch, making sure there's a maximum output of damage. Now Zac and his passive will most likely go down to the Carthus as we switch to the bot lane, where actually Ezreal managed to pick up a kill onto the Draven, and in the end Carthus will manage to pick up that double kill on the Zed, making this a complete ace.
Yeah, at the same time the Leona also died in the bot lane to Braum there.
Yeah,
so it
beautiful
looks
execution.
really bright now for Need a Name.
Yeah, being 1-0 in this series, this is really promising for them to make this a clean 2-0. Yeah. As well as Carthus not even having to use his ultimate.
And what is worth considering there, or remembering rather, is that Carthus didn't even use the ultimate there, even when he wasn't passive. So he saved that one for the next potential fight. So I assume they're going to look for something aggressive here when the dragon spawns.
Yeah. Also,
if Prodigiess try to contest it.
This early on with the respawn timers being this low, he could have respawned and picked up any kills of this extended fight if somebody was to survive with 10 HP. But being a total ace, this is not needed, and he got his Dark Harvest stacks nonetheless. So if we check it, we can see that he will be sitting on exactly 5 Dark Harvest stacks already. And Zed actually going aggressive here. This is not enough to take him down. Yeah, he will just use his Ghost Blade to get out of the lane and away from LB, who's now going aggressive with the Ignite immediate, but the E connected to the minions, so no chain. That's a Zac going aggressive. That's an ult coming down from the Carthus, and I think that's... Oh my god! Zed surviving with 1 HP will die in the end there to the Distortion Q from the LB. Making that a rampage. 5-1 in the top lane, another battle as we try to connect the chain from LB onto Quolox, who will be safely walked out together with his supports.
Yeah.
Second game, second Drake, as well as 2 people on the top sides, trying to scare away Avas. And we have already 4 plating taken on the top side as soon as this last one falls, so maybe turret number 1 here on the top side.
Potentially, they have access to... All the decision making is in the hands of Need a Name now.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want, and they're looking for a kill here in bot lane. Zac is jumping in, Leona hitting a big ult on Braum. They're looking to CC lock the Braum, but he's so tanky at this point. He's flashing out, Draven does not have the damage, and they simply walk it away.
Yeah.
Looking at the river at the same time we have LeBlanc coming in, looking to clean up this fight. Ezreal Braum is chasing. LeBlanc, big W. They get the Leona, they're getting Draven as well. At the same time at top lane, Renekton is going down to Carthus. This is looking like a snowball for Need a Name.
Yeah, the snowball was needed for Prodigiess, but it seems like Need a Name making sure that will not happen with 13 kills, 2-4, and a Mountain Drake on their side, as well as turret number 1 in their pockets.
Yeah, turret number 1 on top lane. They are getting the platings in bot lane or working on them.
Yeah.
This is looking very bright for Need a Name.
Also have that possibility of a Drake and a Herald still both up, and with this pressure that they have right now, as well as the 6k gold lead, they are in a beautiful position to pick up both objectives uncontested.
Yeah. This is looking quite scary.
Well, he managed to dodge all of the abilities from LB so far, but had to use his ultimates.
Oh, nice juke there. I think he needs to... If he keeps walking there, there's a big chance of LeBlanc getting her E back up. And if she hits that, I think he has to flash out. It's a really good juke there from Zed. At the same time here, you can see Carthus and Seth doing the Herald, picking that one up. So now they have access to pushing a bit further into a lane. And Dragon is still up at this point, the Ocean Dragon. Which is, it's quite nice here for both teams. But I think it's gonna go to Need a Name, which is gonna help their sieging at this point.
Yeah, at this point they're just completely trying to obliterate Prodigiess, and that's a beautiful ultimate, making Carthus as well joining the rampage.
Yeah.
Ooh, flash away.
Flashing out, barely no HP.
No, that's a really dangerous space to be.
Yeah.
He will be taken down in the end, so even the heal did not matter there. Beautiful play by LB. And
LeBlanc is alive. She is online playing this game. Like, if you look at the itemization once again, you can see that Carthage has his hourglass, check. LeBlanc has her hourglass, check. Ezreal have his Iceborne Gauntlet, check. They want a team fight now. They are doing well. So what Prodigiess, I think they should be looking to play. They shouldn't go too aggro here in trying to come back. They should be looking for the mistakes that Need a Name can and may do. And that's what I think they need to do in order to come back into this game. Like they have very good pickoffs with their team still. The Leona ult is a long range stun if it hit. With the follow up of Sack Jump potentially or Zed ulti, I think they should be looking for some kind of pickoffs, which should be possible, but it's going to be difficult. So they need to catch someone who's being a bit overly confident. We can see both teams are more or less looking to farm. Ezreal is getting ulted by Zed, making it out. He's dodging the Q, so he's fully surviving. The Guardian of the Braum helps out as well. Right now they're doing a 3-pronged pressure. Leona hitting a ulti here, missing the Ezreal. Braum is moving out. Braum ulti knocking up 2 parties. They're catching the Ezreal. Braum is going down. Ezreal is running for his life, but he's kiting here. He has Set ulting in, big Set ult. They get the Leona going down. Set fighting both Renekton and Draven in the backline of Prodigiess, but Renekton making a big E flash ult. And in the end, he still does not make it out. Draven is trying to run away from the LeBlanc. Karth is picking up the triple kill. And LeBlanc managing to finish off the fight and going for the ace once again.
That was beautifully executed in the end. They're making this 20 kills to 6 as well as a 12k gold lead. 4 towers to 0. Everything going their way. Need a Name looking to closing out this game.
Yeah. I really like how Need a Name, how they ended up responding to that fight. It looked to me like it was actually a really good catch of both Ezreal and Braum there. But then we see the set TP, we see Karthus coming in from the top side, and LeBlanc coming from the bot side. So they did really well responding to that. They seem to have really good communication in deciding what to do at that point. LeBlanc getting some by Leona. Leona hitting a E. We have the hourglass going down for LeBlanc. LeBlanc Wing out. They're trying to get her. They're hitting her. She's jumping back with a great juke. Zed is ulting though, and he gets the big shutdown. That's really, really good for Prodigiess. That's 1k gold in the pocket of Zed, plus the amount of assists the others got. So that was really good for Prodigiess. They're looking to catch the Ezreal here again. Ezreal, big sack E, he hits 2. Draven ult hits 2 as well. They're trying to whack them down. Braum shield being big, Zed finishing off. The Ezreal, does he? No, he does not. Ezreal is running for his life, trying to juke. But he does not make it out after all. So that's a really good place by Prodigiess. At the same time, top lane, we see Renekton and Set is fighting, but Set is going very low. Renekton is trying to beat him down. Set ulti off. Oh. And now they found the Karthus as well, and Karthus is going down. Will he get anyone with the ulti here?
Definitely not the Leona who went into stopwatch, and Zed's proc of the Mortis actually saved him there.
Yeah.
Lifeline triggering.
That was a great series of
events.
fights there for Prodigiess. Only losing one in the Renekton on top lane in a 1v1, while as the rest of the team picked up a lot of big shutdowns there. Like the goal lead is still 8k for the team of Need a Name, but it looks to me like Prodigiess is looking to fight like it's a 5k lead, man.
Yeah, they definitely trying to at least not give up without any contests, so they're trying to get back into this game. And so far the winning condition is not really enabled yet. I mean, yes, LB and Carters are in a great position, but they lost a lot of tempo, especially with the previous fights. There's a Stoneblade poking for the Leonia, huh? Making sure that Tichitot stays safe. Next Drake on the table being an Inferno.
Yeah.
And they... Bomb seemed like he was bugging out there.
Yeah, he was doing a quick dance. The dragon is going fairly low here, slowly but surely, but Prodigiess is looking to cancel it. Leona going low, Prodigiess is going for the finish. The Prodigiess pick it up.
Yeah, Prodigiess is getting the Drake and now extended team fight going on, knocking up the Draven, instantly making him blown up by Seth as well. Now going aggressive into the backline, making sure he's gonna get the next kill onto Avas, the Renekton falling as well as the Leona, with Zac being the only remaining member of his team on this bot side as Zed is trying to run to his jungle and escape. There we go.
Nice, nice. Really solid.
4 kills, and this is what Need a Name have been looking for. Now they can finally push to open up the base. They do not have any wave in position though. Yeah, and he even jumps into the game. Yeah, fishing for the Z there.
Quite interesting to note here as well. The Karthus, he opted for the Sork boots earlier, I believe, and he swapped them out to a Ninja Tabi. They're looking to go for the extended fight now, getting all the survivability they can.
Yeah, I believe with the 3-item completion coming up pretty soon on the sides of Need a Name, and Prodigiess all sitting on only 1 item besides the Z, this will be a really discrepancy of damage in the next team fights, as we already saw in the last one. Yes, Zac managed to pick up that Infernal Drake, only prolonging the inevitable, but maybe there's still hope.
Yeah. At this point, I think I would really like Need a Name to go for a 1-3-1 actually. They have... like right now, Seth is trying to split push, but he does not have any pressure in the other side of the map, so he's just giving up. However, at the same time, Need a Name is starting the Baron. I think that Prodigiess figured it out. We see Leona and Renekton is moving their Draven ulti coming in. He's looking for the steal, but it hits too early. Leona ulti going... Ooh, that was really close, but Red team actually picks up the Baron. Both Leona and Renekton going in here on the 2v4. They're going fairly low in the Need a Name team. But they do not end up dying. Karthus is going quite low. Brom is blocking off the Draven. Draven is going down to the Ezreal. And now we do the chase them down again. Oh, nice play there from Ezreal. Zac is going down as well. I think we're looking at an ace. Jason.
Yeah, this might be the ace actually coming down here with the triple king onto the Ezreal. Triple king, yeah. Triple kill. Thinking of a Burger King here. But yeah, Zed already used his TP to join into the bot lane immediately, making sure to take at least that tower down. He's gonna even tank a bit before the minions arrive.
And now Leona Renekton is back up, so I'm not sure if he can do it solo. But at the same time, we have 3 people in the mid lane pushing that turret down.
Yeah, and there we see actually him ignoring completely both of these guys. His HP bar way too big.
They have LeBlanc backing up, LeBlanc doing a big W.
Forcing 2
He's
flashes.
getting that knockdown.
That's just a free inhibitor on the bot side if they manage to pick it up, but right now they seem... Yeah, it seems like to be a contest on the next team fight here. Leona already taking really extremely low as well as the LB clone. In the end, it will be Bomb falling as well as Leona, so both supports out of the game already. Zed making a beautiful play onto the Ezreal. Now the Karthus ultimate coming down. He's not in this team fight. Remember, he just ulted from afar. But now Solstice making sure that he picks up the Zac as well as LB taking up the Draven. But Zed will make sure that's an equal trade. Flash forward, misses the 2 damage, so the Zed will survive the set. And
it looks to me, however, they will still pick up the inhib in the bot lane with Karthus finally joining.
yeah, so 2 inhibitors going down.
And Karthus still have the Baron buff. They might actually look for the end of the game here. The ulti of Zed is down.
Yeah.
But it's a 3v2.
3v2, but this Karthus Q is hurting. You can see Tichitot in a big of a pickle here, already going really extremely low. Ava's being the first one to fall, as now Tichitot is being chased by the Karthus, who's running out of mana. And the respawn's coming too here. Krolok is jumping aggressively with the Zac, hitting the slow of the Q, looking to auto anything. He has not a single minion in range. Will just be calling off this one. And yeah, they walk out with 2 inhibitors and nearly a tower taking down.
Yeah. And now we have the next Infernal coming up quite soon, actually. So I'm really curious whether or not the Prodigiess will end up giving it up here. If they're just looking to give away the Infernal. It is not the Soul, since they did manage to steal the other dragon. So they could just leave it, try to save some time to defend against the double inhib down. And buy time to push out the top lane. Which is exactly what it seems like they're doing here. So red team picks up their 3rd dragon of the game, which is the first Infernal for them. So the next dragon will be a really big dragon if we get to reach that far.
Actually, 4 minutes still, that's a long time, and we haven't even hit 30-minute mark yet, so I believe that Drake will not only be leading to the final fight, with the base being open, but also to an extended fight, because it seems like these fights have been going on so long that the respawns come through at every time. Aggressive Leon ult missing though, the stun not completely connecting, and Solstice now, yeah, his W can only do so much, and now it's on cooldown, uses the ultimate to get out, and Zed actually going back because they realize, hey, Need a Name is pushing the top side.
That's really good. He pulls 3 people and he does not even die. He eats 2 ultis, the Zed ult and the Leona ult, and he still survives. That's really good for him.
Yeah.
They're getting the last inhib here, and the Nexus turret is falling quite low as well.
Zac is really alone here in the back line as Avas is already taking down. He has Wallace Tichitot falling in a second here. Managed to pick up 3 kills for themselves already. Now the Karthus ultimate coming too, making that 4 kills in total with a double kill onto the Karthus, and that's just the final push for the base. And that will be game number 2 after they finished joking. Okay, they just trolling right now. And there we go, game number 2 taking down. And that will be a 2-0 clean series in favor of Need a Name.
Yeah.
Happy
really
to see.
solid performance by Need a Name here. Yeah. They dominated it.
Game number 2 making this a 0-2 in favor of Need a Name. We can look at some stats here, like for example the damage graph, and you can see that Zed was keeping up with the pace at the end there, as well as Draven finally doing some damage output, but it was not enough as Karthus and the Ezreal together with the Zed managed to outdamage the enemy team completely, and also LB did her fair share to contribute to once again Need a Name having an outstanding performance as a team, not only a single member, and I believe that will be the name of the game actually. The team was there to outplay in total as well as individual skill, making sure that these team fights looked very one-sided. There was a good comeback potential, I believe, because they had some really good team fights in the mid game. Prodigiess.
They also,
yeah,
at the early game where Need a Name did a dive on top lane, they did manage to go for 3-for-3 there, I believe, in the end. So there was Prodigiess managed to bite back, but then slowly but surely Need a Name managed to pull off the the small leads leading to a big one. Like, despite the damage numbers being what they were, or what they are, rather, my favorite player here is still the LeBlanc. I think she managed to pull the early game in order for them to reach this point and win so convincingly. She did some very key roams and big deletes of champions.
Banned from the competition, you will be if you receive 3 strikes. Just making sure that is out there. But yeah, making sure that also everything stays in order. Just a quick reminder to everybody. In our competition, sorry, I keep thinking of 2 things at the same time, which will not be working. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm happy for you to join us today, actually. So let's actually go into our standings real quick and have a look at that, because there has been some games played today. So EQ Need a Name now sitting at 8 points in the top, followed by Overstorm with 6 points, Circspark on 4 points, Washed Up Kids on 4 points, as well as Divine on 2 points, Toxic Legion on 2 points, and Prodigiess still on the 0 points. That's completing the Group B. If you want the exact scores, because you do get points for winning 1 game in the best of 3, for example, if you go 2-1, you have to head over to discord.me/connectingesports and join the community. We got a beautiful channel called Scores, and there you can check the actual scores, because Challenger Mode does not support giving points for winning games in a losing matchup. Anyways, now, do we want to do an interview? Do you have any questions for the team? Need a name, Mr. Frisk?
I would be curious what their game plan was going into the game, if anything.
Sure, we can do that.
Like, I can see it from my perspective, but I really like their composition. Curious as what their plan was.
Yeah, we can do that. We can have a quick question for let's actually ask them who the drafting power was. Let me just head over to their channel, make sure we know. Need a name. Find them. So team captain will be Prodigiess. To the mid laner, we can ask him. There we go, just waiting for him to reply, as we will be looking into a few options here for the TG Diamond League. If you are opting into playing with us, make sure to look underneath the stream. There's the beautiful new panels, and you can click and register for the next season as soon as signups are starting. As well as the beautiful new panels showing you not only the top current video locations, but also some information about the Connecting Esports organization as a whole. And of course our casters results, for example, being in there. If you click on that caster icon, it will open a beautiful link that shows you all of our casters. Name of the game being Frisk. And a suggestion box if you have any questions. Let's see, there we go. Hello and welcome, Mr. Prodigiess.
Hello, hello.
So let's start off with an easy question and congratulating you on the win. So who is the drafting brain behind your compositions?
The main brain would be our top laner, Solstice.
Okay.
We usually give him the drafts because during our practice we realize that he enjoys it, and usually we come out with good drafts when he does it.
Okay, so he's a drafting pro, but maybe you can still tell us if the composition of this game actually Frisk had this question. Maybe you want to go in detail about this question, Frisk.
Yeah, I really liked your composition, the way you picked it. But what was your game plan going into the game with the composition you had?
Which game? The first one or the second one?
Oh, sorry, the second game.
Okay, generally what we thought was, when we saw Zach and Olaf banned, we were instantly thinking about late game on Karthus pick. And our top lane was adamant that if we pick Zed, it's going to be very good into Zach, and he predicted that it's going to be potentially Renekton picked by them, and he was confident in the matchup. we did not expect them to pick Draven, especially after the first game. But so that was a bit of a curveball. But in the end, we just picked comfort champions for me and top lane, and we were planning to do the Karthus from the get-go. In the end, we were thinking between Ezreal Yuumi and Ezreal Braum, and we decided to go with the Ezreal Braum.
Yeah, I think you handled the drafting really well. Looking at the bot lane, for example, where they picked a very aggressive ADC with Draven and then Leona as well. She can do everything aggressively and defensively, it feels like. So picking Braum Ezreal felt to me like a very good decision, because they don't need to fight in order to shine later on. But they're not too bad at fighting either, right? And having the LeBlanc pickup as well, I said beforehand that for me the winning team here would be the team that won mid lane, since both of these mid laners can snowball both of the side lanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I think you guys executed the composition really well, actually. It looked a bit iffy with the dive top lane. Would you take me through how that play went through on the team?
Yeah, we planned that about 30 seconds in advance when we were crashing the wave and Karthus was passing toward there, and I could roam up, though I was a bit behind on the push. What went wrong is that we mis-executed a bit on the dive on the Renekton and took too long to kill him, and we did not expect Zac to be there, actually, which in hindsight we should have. We actually stayed too long to kill the Zac. That was a bit of a greed. Our jungler kept saying, "Give me Dark Harvest stack, give me Dark Harvest stack." So yeah, that's how that went down. Luckily for us, unluckily, all the kills. I think 2 of the kills went to Zed. Luckily, he did not manage to do anything with them.
Yeah. I mentioned it as well during the game, having. Their whole damage is based on AD, right?
Yes.
So looking at the itemization, everyone opted for armor early as well.
Yeah.
Which I think shot them down really hard, even after you guys snowballed.
Yes, I intentionally skipped finishing my Lunan Zeko to rush Zanyas, so they have
one target less.
One target less, especially since I'm so elusive on LeBlanc. This way, the Zed shouldn't be able to 1v1 me in lane, and since I'm already ahead in him, the damage from Zanyas would be enough to win the 1v1 in the side lane.
Yeah.
That's basically our plan for game 2.
No, I agree. That sounded solid, and I believe you had. I mean, game number 1, Fisk was not here, so I'll maybe ask you about this. So we had game number 1. It was a bit looking like a miscommunication going on in between the jungler and the ADC, because they are always not at the same time on the same place, even though they were calling for some roams. Like even you roamed down to the jungle multiple times to catch the enemy jungler, and then your jungler Olaf just ended up dying because Draven was still in the lane. Anything to back that up?
I think that was one of the roams. We were trying to set up a dive, but we mistimed the wave push. So I roamed down early, but we couldn't execute, so I had to roam back up, and I guess we just got mixed up in the communication, and that's why that happened. Okay. We did not communicate clearly that we were canceling.
So it was miscommunication, because we were not quite sure. It looked a bit weird that both of you had, not both of you, that 2 of your team members had different ideas of when to collapse, and that ended up in you at least giving them a little bit of a chance to come back. But in the end, you cleanly closed out this game as well as the second game, so making this a clean 2-0 series. I believe you look like a strong team and have a great potential of climbing into the playoffs. So maybe even the finals. Do you think there's any team you need to be afraid of, or at least have to look out for or prepare a bit better?
I generally don't know about the other group, but in our group, we are only looking at Overstorms. We actually scrimmed them recently, and they're a strong team that has good synergy, so we're looking forward to playing them, actually.
Okay, yeah, Overstorm being in second place right now, of course. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I think that was all for today, at least. So maybe we'll see more of you in the future. If you keep winning.
Can I get a request? Can we get Overstorm versus Need a Name streamed?
Depends on the time, because we have priority to the TGC League, so the Challenger League. But if they are not on that day and we don't have any other games that need to be streamed at that day, we will probably be able to fulfill that request. Just make sure to drop the times in DM or something so I can see if it goes over with our schedule, okay?
I'm pretty sure we can do it as scheduled by Challenger mode, so 19:00 CST.
Yeah, no, just about the day, because we have multiple games, obviously, every day. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us and replying to our questions, and congratulations once again.
Thank you for reminding me.
No problem. And don't forget to post screenshots as everybody else. And with that being said, have fun, guys.
You too. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, Mr. Frisk, how did you enjoy game number 2 of this series? Had a lot of fun?
I really enjoyed it. It was... I think the game could have gone either way, but the team with, in my opinion, the better draft and the better game plan won, and that's fulfilling to say.
I completely agree with you on this one. I mean, I was kind of distracted because everybody was crying in the background about help me with this and help me with that, but that's what admins are for. But I'm really thankful for you managing the situation and doing a good job at CC as well as PB casting, so congratulations to you. Great addition to the team. You deserved your spot in that social panel down below. Pointing out the panels last time, I swear it's the last time. Just super happy that we finally got a really nice looking panel on our twitch.tv/connectingesports. So scroll down and make sure to check that out and follow everything that's needed. With that being said, I think we'll be heading into the end screen and thanking not just the viewers for tuning in today, but also everybody who chatted with us, as well as Frisk joining on this short notice and making this a beautiful and enjoyable stream. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome, of course. And then with that being said, we will be seeing you guys in the future for our next streams, as always, at 7 PM CST for the regular games. With that being said, have fun and enjoy your night, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.